Hey guys, what's up? If you're trying to break a sub 2 half marathon, you need to check this video out. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to FORDY Runs. If this is your first time at FORDY Runs, make sure you smash the pink subscribe button. Don't forget to go over to our Facebook page and join our Facebook running community, and check the links below. You can get your marathon training tops online and your half marathon training tops online at the FORDY Run store right now. And also while you're down there, don't forget to vote for FORDY Runs in the 2019 Running Awards, and I really would appreciate that. As I said in the opening, this is all about sub 2 hour half marathons. This is going to be a two-part of this video, so make sure you watch this one and the second one. So let's get stuck in. So guys, the sub 2 hour half marathon is the holy grail for the everyday runner. I think it's a real benchmark for us. All those guys who are out there hitting the pavement every day trying to get fit, stay fit, train for an event or whatever you're doing, a sub 2 hour half marathon is a big achievement. So these two videos are hopefully going to help you towards that sub 2 hour half marathon. This first video is going to be about pacing, and the second video is all about implementing the pacing that we talk about today and the tips. Now I did a video on this, I'm going to put it up here. I did some a tips video on sub 2 hour half marathon. We're going to sort of merge the two together. We're going to take this pacing, what we learned today, and we're going to take the tips from this video that I mentioned before, and then we're going to go and try at the Oxford Half Marathon to try and beat this sub 2 hour half marathon. So regarding pacing, pacing is key, and it is so essential to get pacing right. So the best way I think to talk about pacing is to ask a pacer. Now, if you've not checked out Delroy or seen Delroy, he's usually at one of the events that we're running, and he's one of like the Duracell Bunny Pacers, and he does loads of other pacing events. He's got his own YouTube channel called The Bunny Pacer, and I've asked him to talk about that as well a little bit at the end of the video. But firstly, let's get his sort of top 10 tips for pacing and what he does to pace an event, and hopefully you can pick up some tips along the way. So Delroy, over to you, mate.
So you want me to give you some tips on pacing? I'm going to give you 10 tips. These are only my tips. I don't know what other pacers use, but this is what I stick by. Okay, so the first thing is always make sure that you go out with your watch is fully charged. There's nothing worse than getting into a race and you look down and you go, oh no, I'm on 2 bars or 1 bar. Schoolboy error. Number 2, always make sure beforehand that you check the route. Check the route for inclines, check for down, everything. Yeah, always on the website before a race you get an email and you can view the route. This way then around the course you obviously you know what's coming. You know what's coming on mile 2, mile 7, etc, etc. Tip 3, if you can, make sure you've already done this in practice. You know, practice on yourself, practice on your wife, practice on your mates. It's the easiest thing to do. And I always make sure before an event, if I'm pacing 2 hours, 2 hours 5, I always make sure a couple of weeks I have 2 practice runs. This way, you know you can hit it, you know you're going to be bang on. Tip number 4, pace pocket. These cost £6. Okay, you can get it from the internet. Mine's 2 hours obviously. I've got loads of these with different times that I've paced. Inside you can fit a key. On the back of these, as you can see, you've got the splits. The splits here are perfect, i.e. for 2 hours, exactly to finish on 2 hours. Me, personally, and I know for a fact that other pacers do it because you'd have to do that to come in on time, is obviously you've got 13 there, because 13 miles. If you take off a second, you're going to have 13 seconds, so it'll take off a couple of seconds off each mile, and you'll definitely be on time before, obviously, the 2 hours. For 2 hours, I normally run at 9-minute miles to 3 to 5 maximum. Yeah, that's just to take in the hills, etc, etc, and the crowds. Tip number 5, make sure that you know these splits. There's no use getting into a race and going, what's coming next? You know, just revise the night before if you're not used to pacing. It will help you out on the day. So, when you're running the half marathon, the first 2-3 miles is just a warm-up, you're just getting into races. So what you want to do is the first 3 miles, what I do is I check my watch for the mile markers. So mile marker 1, it should go off when my watch beeps. Mile 2, go off when the watch beeps, and so on to 3. If it doesn't, I then go back to my pace pocket. So on mile 4, on a 2 hour, you should get to the mile marker at 36. If it goes off before that, then you know that the course is shorter, but you just go by the mile marker. Your watch is out of sync, but the mile markers, go with the mile markers. So mile 5, I know then that I need to hit that mile marker at 45:45. You get to the mile marker, look at your watch. If it's 45:43, then yes, you know to go by the pace pocket. So the key there is use your watch and make sure that the mile markers match the watch. If they don't, then revert back to the pace pocket. Does that make sense for you? Tip number 7. Always make sure that you explain to the 2 people or 3 or the whole group where you are at per mile. I always say to the group, okay, coming up to mile 2, we should be hitting it at XYZ. Look at my watch, we've just hit it at this. Well done everybody, let's keep it up. A bit of motivation keeps everyone going. It works, and sometimes once you hit mile 7 to 10, people are starting to feel a bit and they start to flag. So just keep everybody up with a bit of motivation. Tip number 8. Always say to the group, look, how do you want to approach the hills? Do we go slower up the hill and then faster down hills, or do you want to keep at the same pace up the hills and then probably just slow back on the downhills? I always make sure at the first 3 or 4 miles to ask the group that. Best thing though is, always make sure while going up a hill to shorten the stride and keep it the same speed, and also go on tiptoes, it's much easier. On the downhills, drop the arms, relax the arms and let the body take you downhill. That is the easiest way that I feel that this works up or down the hill. Tip number 9. The last half of a mile, I always say to the group, you go ahead. That's why many pictures, when you see pacers coming through at the end, they shouldn't have hardly anybody around them at all, because by mile 12 and 12 and a half, the whole group should go. Our job, FORDY, as a pacer, is to make sure everybody crosses that line before we do. Obviously not everybody in the whole race, but the people, the group who are with you then. Okay, and the last tip is relax and enjoy it, be confident, FORDY, and what I always say to everyone, just finish with a smile. There you go, mate, there's my 10 top tips for you. Hope it goes well, just enjoy it, mate, and all the best.
Thanks, buddy, I really do appreciate those tips, it's very useful. While you're at it, why don't you tell us about your YouTube channel as well?
My channel's called Bunny Pacer, and how it started was this year at the running show. I was with Michelle, my wife, and we were just chatting to one of our friends, and obviously I went to introduce Michelle to my other friends, but it came out as wife. Yeah, embarrassing, but that's how it started, and that's it from it. Basically, every time I see my friends, they say, how's wife? So I thought to myself, why not put the channel together and pacer and wife? And that's it really. Basically, there's a few episodes on there now. It's just us basically doing ultras, marathons, park runs, and it's just a day in the life of pacer and wife, and that's actually how we are. We are stupid as a couple, but hey ho, we can't always be serious.
Thanks, dude, really do appreciate it. Make sure you check out Delroy's channel, subscribe to his channel. I'm going to put the links below, it's pretty awesome. And make sure if you do see him at any event, you say hello as well, because he's just, a really nice guy and an awesome person. So thanks a lot for coming on the channel, dude. Right, so that's pacing dealt with. So we've got some wicked tips from Delroy. Now we've got to take those tips, we've got to add them to our strategy tips from that video I mentioned earlier. We're going to take them along to Oxford, so come back for the second part of this video to see if we can break sub 2 hours at the Oxford Half Marathon. Yeah, fingers crossed. Hey guys, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video, I really do appreciate it. If you've got any comments, stick them below. Have you broken 2 hours at the half marathon distance? If you have, how did you achieve that? Stick them comments down there for me. And make sure you give this video the thumbs up. Check out these videos, they're pretty cool, and subscribe if you've not done that already. But that's it from me, and I'll catch you next week.